We just need to wait to see what the market is telling us, and then we position ourselves as best as we can based on the market outlook.
High grade sipping on my liquor. Girls them a come, them a want, them a take her. Bad man, me a come in, me a wanna take her. Girls them a come, them a want it on the nigga. I steady sipping on my liquor.
So we've got another week to go until Christmas time. So what's going to happen with the markets the next week? So this is just a general outlook as to what's going to happen with the market, what levels to look out for, and also if there's any articles that have come out that could potentially affect the supply and demand within the market and within the S&P 500. So looking at the S&P 500, we've had a really good last week. So we just need to see, is next week going to be the same, or are we going to potentially see a bearish week next week, just like we saw a bullish week last week? At the moment, the price right now is between a resistance point and potentially a support zone. So the resistance of 479 and the potential support of 459. So the 479 level is actually a weekly resistance, and the 459 was a weekly resistance as well, but it's been broken and now it could potentially be a weekly support. We could potentially start seeing some bearish candles next week, seeing as we've passed the dividend date. So all the investors that got in the lead up to the dividends would start potentially getting out and creating a lot of supply in the market, or creating some supply in the market that could see this price fall down to test the 459 zone. And we'll see if that 459 zone holds as a support, then we can see this price head up to 479 again. So like I've mentioned in a couple of videos before, and in this one, that we're potentially going to be in this range bound movement, so bouncing between 479 and 459. Just need to wait to see what the market says. In the MACD, we're in a golden cross at the moment, but it looks like the momentum is actually losing some steam. And as you can see from the signal line, it's going to start coming down to cross across the MACD line. And looking at the histogram, we're no longer seeing like strong green bars, basically strong green bars indicating strong bullish momentum, and the strong red bars indicating bearish momentum. So every time we start seeing those in the histogram, we tend to start seeing the start to a trend, whether it's the bullish trend or the bearish trend. And once that trend gets established, like here, we started seeing the green bars, and this trend got established and basically it took off, So the fact that we're at the moment we're neutral, well, Friday's close was a bit neutral, so we could potentially start seeing some red histograms, which could indicate the price falling, and we'll see if that establishes as a bearish trend or not. So if we have a look at other markets, so looking at the Dow, and again similar, but the signal line is still above the MACD line, which indicates that we're potentially still in this strong bullish trend. And as you can see, the price has already started falling, but the bulls haven't given up yet. So we just need to wait to see if the 369 holds as a support, and if it does, then we might see a dead cross momentarily form on the MACD. And while the market is actually consolidating, re-establish a golden cross, or it might form for a bit and the market might bearishly trend for a little bit. Market might fall below this level momentarily and then get back above it, break back above it. That's one way that it could establish this as a support. Another way that it could establish it as a support is that the market could potentially fall down, test it, it might alternate between it, and then take off, like just showing that once all the demand has been eaten up. So at this point, the market basically goes through different ones. It goes through accumulation and distribution. So at this point, it could be accumulating. So accumulating a lot of demand, accumulating a lot of orders, all of that, until it gets to the point where it just distributes that in the market. And then that's where the price goes one way or the other. So all this happens very quickly. And if you look at the 3Qs, and the 3Qs is exactly the same. But the 3Qs is actually pretty interesting because it's right at a resistance zone. I did this in the video of the recap for last week. But the price right now is at a resistance zone, and you can see there's some supply stepping in the market through the wicks of these candles. I mean, Thursday's close was bearish. We can see there's this long wick. The bears brought the price down to 400, but the bulls are like, nah, we're gonna take this up, and then they sent this price up to 430, $3, and that's where the Thursday's close was. And Friday's session was actually green, which shows that there's still a lot of bullish activity. There's still a lot of demand in this market at this point. So it'll be an interesting fight to see who wins, who claims dominance over this area, and where the price would go. It could either go one or two ways. It could either go down or it could either go up. The whole market is very binary. It's one way or the other. We just need to wait to see what the market is telling us, and then we position ourselves as best as we can based on the market outlook. If we're getting in, if we're day trading, if we're swing trading, all of that, or if we're investing, then we generally don't really care we care where the market is going. Obviously it has to go up, but we generally don't really care when it's going to do that. The sooner the better, but hey, whenever it does it does it. The levels to look out for if you're invested in the 3Qs, or if you're thinking about investing right now, is at this level. Between $405 and $408 is a resistance zone. So we just need to see if the market falls based on if the resistance is strong, or if the market breaks above that resistance. And then if it does, we just need to wait to see if it establishes that level as a support zone. If a lot of demand comes into the market, a lot of buyers step in and start saying, we're gonna hold this area, we're gonna place our flag here because we own this territory. So it'll be an interesting one to see. And looking at the S&P 500 in terms of the prices to look out for are basically 459, which is potentially a support. We'll just need to see if the price comes and establishes this, or tests it and establishes it as a support. And the other level is the 479, which is a weekly resistance. And again, we just need to wait to see what happens when the price touches it. The price is at it at the moment, but we just need to wait till the price actually tests this level, and then we'll see how the market reacts, how people react to it. And also another one is looking at the Dow Jones. Again, we just need to wait to see if the price establishes this as a support, and the support level of 369, that's one to watch out for. And if it comes down to consolidate at a certain level, that level could be 356, which is previously resistance, but it's not been proven or it's not been tested as a support. So we just need to wait to see if it gets to that level, and if it does, how the market reacts to that. There was an article that came out on the Friday the 15th, and it was an economist basically saying that the Western-led global economy order had a bad 2023. That's no secret because the market has just been going downhill. It's only the last month that it's really been recovering and starting to take shape, and we're starting to see the prices rise and starting to see bullish candles. But in particular, he contributes that bad 2023 to basically the growing of weaponization of trade and investment sanctions, the unequal distribution of vaccines, central banks' mischaracterization of inflation as transitory, and consequences of the bank's aggressive interest rate hikes. So the economy has effectively been bad this year because, one, a lot of people have been uncertain as to where the hell the economy is actually going, and two, there's been a lot of interest rate hikes. So that's basically stopped a lot of people buying things like properties, taking out loans, all of the things that effectively keep the economy going. But because of all the interest rate things, they've made it hard for people to actually move their money around or even get money, so the economy has not really been going anywhere. But the fact that the S&P 500, the Dow, and all of those are actually starting to see green candles and actually starting to break above resistances means that there's some activity that's happening in the economy. There's some positive outlook. So 2024 is likely going to be a good year economically. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe if this is your kind of thing and you enjoyed the analysis and it made sense to you. Make sure you subscribe. Of course, hit that notification bell because I'll be coming out with regular videos, in fact, daily videos on the market, S&P 500, and other stocks. And if there's any stocks you want me to analyze, even crypto, if you want me to analyze, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do a video on it if a number of you actually request. And also another thing I'm doing is I'm giving away £100. If you share this video, you comment, you like, do all of those, and then one of you lucky people will be able to win £100, So guys, get involved, for your chance to win, or just get involved for your chance to be able to make money, know where to make money and what's going on with your investments. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.
High grade sipping on me liquor. Girls them a come, them a want, them a take her. Batman, me a come in, me a wanna take her. Girls them a come, them a want it on the liquor. I steady sipping on my liquor.